we have a history of a half a century of fighting and litigation over public lands, management of public lands, and particularly in the timber industry and the national forests and under BLM. This started 50 years ago as an antagonistic, combative system with the people drawing lines on both sides and nobody giving quarter. Over that period of time, cooler minds have prevailed, and we've gotten to a point where, for instance, in Idaho, and I know this is true in Montana and Wyoming, we manage a lot of the forest lands by a collaborative process. And a collaborative process is a process by which the parties sit around the table, and it is parties across the spectrum, whether it's industry people harvesting, whether it's motorized users or conservation groups that want to protect certain areas. And we've had a really good success in this collaborative process. I mean, really good success. It's eliminated a lot of litigation, and it's been a give and take, and the parties come away from the table with a lot better feeling and a result. I had personal experience with this when I was governor. We got a roadless rule. Idaho is the only state, with all due respect to Colorado, we've got the only significant and substantial roadless rule that was written by us and written through a collaborative process.
Senator, does anything prevent you all from doing what you just said has been working for you?
No, this is at the end of the day, when the parties all shake hands and walk away from the table, what happens is the fringe groups, as Senator Daines indicated, who refused to sit down at the table, and that happened to me in the roadless rule, they then go ahead and file suit. And what they do is they forum shop, which you can't do with a alternative dispute resolution. Sure. And so this is really de minimis. I mean, we're talking 2 projects out of thousands every year. So this is not intended to be a run at environmentalists or anything like that. What it is designed to do is to do what most industries, what most people in America are moving towards, and that is arbitration as opposed to litigation. Gotcha. Because the litigation goes on for years and years and years, and you have various steps through the appellate process.
Senator Daines, I'm gonna let Senator Risch reclaim his time, and then we'll go to you.
And I'll yield to Senator Daines. Okay. Mr. Fowler, with all due respect, the matters that are submitted to arbitration are not necessarily just factual questions. Frequently, there are legal questions that are submitted to arbitrators. Your statement in that regard is simply inaccurate. It is widespread throughout America today. It's contained in contracts. It's contained in statutory language. And with all due respect, I wish you would sit on one of those collaborative boards one time and see the frustration of this group of people who come at it from all sides and reach an agreement, and then you have a fringe group that takes it through the courts and is financially incentivized to do that, because if they find one dinky flaw in that, they get hundreds of thousands in attorney's fees under the whatever that act is that we have. So with all due respect, Mr. Fowler, what we're trying to do is we are trying to, in a very, very limited fashion, get these matters resolved after they've been through a system that has the deepest due process you've ever seen with these people around at the table. So with all due respect, you are dead wrong on this. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Senator Daines.